It's a dual connect, and if you come to the Nigerian diaspora, we've exported a huge part of our culture. We have an Odionwere of the United Kingdom and Ireland. It's never been done before. It's the first of its kind, and we're trying to chronicle that history. How did that happen? With me this evening, I have a man who was very instrumental to the process. Mr. Odionwere, how are you?
Thank you for having me.
Good, good. Thank you for coming. Thank you. I've been meaning to have this discussion. Mr. Odionwere, I know there's unions in the diaspora. There's various types of, there's Benin Union, there's Eastern Union, there's UYOSA, there's all kinds of unions. What sprang up this need to have an Odionwere? Who brought the idea, and what was that supposed to do?
Well, once again, thank you for having me. Like I said, that Benin is a very unique people. They are very unique.
Yes.
Normally, we get messages from His Majesty, the Oba of Benin. At that time, our father, Oba Erediauwa, was on the throne.
Okay.
In 2007, they send messages all the time. And when they send messages, they send it to individual. So the idea of trying to get everybody together was when they formed Odionwere. At that time, they sent messages through the Yasa of Benin,
Okay.
Chief Igbe.
Okay.
Now, who is the traditional prime minister of Benin.
It's sending messages to the diaspora.
Yes, yeah. But who do we talk to? That was the question. Who do they talk to? Who is the arrowhead
They couldn't talk
that
to
who can bring the people together?
But you had presidents of unions, they couldn't, the palace.
Right, they are different unions. They are all different. So, and Mr. Ibude was told, we had a meeting in his house in southeast of England,
Yes.
London. And in that meeting, and we were being briefed, because what people they were briefing us, what he was told
The message from the palace.
from the palace.
Okay.
My name is David Obaze, Dr. David Obaze, the first Benin or Nigerian Benin as a councillor in Westminster.
Thank you. Uncle, you're very instrumental to having the first Odionwere of the United Kingdom and Ireland. How did that happen?
Actually, that's a very big process because there was already a Benin Union, Edo Union, so I don't want any conflict.
Okay.
But the Oba Erediauwa, asked me, because we get in touch with each other, or he gets in touch with me every time, and he asked me if really I can bring the Benin's in Britain together.
Okay.
He thought that we are not close enough, even though the Edo Union is there. And there are other organizations or groups.
What year was this?
Oh, honestly, I can't, it's so difficult for me.
Okay.
I can't remember what year.
Okay. What was your relationship with Oba Erediauwa like before he asked you to bring the Benin people together?
Well, I am originally a Benin from my family is Azaka, Izomo, very close to the Oba. My father, although was in the north, knows Erediauwa so very much, very well.
The Oba himself?
The Oba of Benin, the Oba. And so he knew that I am in London, in Britain. And he got in touch with me. I introduced myself. And we continue from there.
Was the Oba in Britain when he got in touch with you, or was he in Nigeria?
He was in Nigeria when he phoned me.
Oba Erediauwa.
Erediauwa.
Did you know him before he was, or this was before he was Oba, or?
Oh no, He did. We didn't know each other. He didn't know me. I didn't know. I know that he's there, of course,
Yeah.
but I haven't met him.
Before he became Oba?
Through my father, through my parents.
Okay.
He got my phone number, my details.
Okay.
So he contacted me. I hadn't met him at all.
He didn't meet you? Okay.
No, never met him. Actually, he was the Oba completely. He was Oba when we first contacted each other.
Okay. What was sorry, as you were saying, the phone call, when he called you, what did he say?
He called me, and then I introduced myself and everything. I think he trusted me. Actually, he told me about the little boy, Obi Erediauwa that time. He was about 15 or so when he asked me to be the boy's guardian. And that is when we knew that we can work together.
Okay. And then he called you again?
We continue calling me every time. And then that he introduced me also to the daughter's family, the first daughter, Princess Teresa.
Okay.
And then to that we have great big family. We meet and see each other. So he asked us if to be the guardian, actually, of the daughter.
And so the Oba called you one day and said he wanted you to help unite the Beninese.
Yeah. To unite the Beninese and form a. So I didn't know how to do that. And I knew that the Benin Union exists. I'm not a member of the Benin Union at all. Although they used to phone me and invite me to their function, but I wasn't a member. So, and when the Oba asked me to actually assemble the Beninese to unite here and then form some sort of a group, I asked Mr. Ibude, Mr. Monday Ibude.
You knew him and he knew you at that time?
I knew him through the Benins and through the union also. I knew him. A very, very man I could trust also among the Beninese that I know well. So I asked him, I told him that the Oba contacts me and we had a chat and then what he wants me to do. Can I ask him, please, can he help me to invite some Benin people, I don't know, to meet me at his place. He was very happy to do that, especially he knew that it was beneath the Oba's wish to unite the Benin, so family group.
Can I just ask you before, why was the at this particular time, the Oba was particularly concerned about Benin people? Was there any reason, was there anything going on in London, or was it just general Benin?
Yeah, he's very concerned because after the bombing in London, he was afraid or concerned that if Benin were involved or casualties, that when he was asking his concern whether any casualty among the Beninese, I said, I don't know. I don't know. He said, well, can I find out? I said, well, the only way I can find out is either to have a talk with them. But I didn't think there was any casualty among the Beninese or the involvement among the Beninese.
When I first came to this country, I had my issues here and there, no one to actually run to. So, but after a while, I was able to go through and fortify myself and stay strong in this country. So then I made a decision that any Benin man that come my way and request an assistant, I will help. So while I was living in my house at that time, any Benin man, I was working the contract, I was working in the cleaning industries. I was a contract manager at a time in one of the cleaning company, which I will not mention now because of some reasons. And I have power. I was here and there. I have power to employ. I have power to. So when any Benin man just come to my house in the morning, because I always leave home around at that time 5:30 in the morning, and they just say Domosa. I say, okay, follow me. I don't want to know where you come from Benin, but saying Domosa to me at that time, you are already, I know why you are there in my door at 5:30 in the early morning. That was why at that time, people will always say that when you see Pa Ibudi, then they call me Pa at that time, Mr. Ibudi, you will get a job. Just go and see him. He don't need to know you. You are a Benin man. And that is what was actually happening. Just come to my door, 5:30. As I open my door, you just say, Domosa, and greet me with any of the Benin native greetings, morning greetings. Follow me, finish. You get a job already on that day. In the year 2008, I was a chairperson for Benin Voice UK, and I was we were doing so many things, event at that time, to ensure that the Benin people comes together and move on forward. That was all I was doing. But before that 2008, I met Dr. Obaze in his own chamber at Woghiren Road, where he has his own office. And John Osagi was the person who took me there to go and see him. Late John Osagi took me there to go and see him. And he received us very well, and we were well impressed. And ever since, we've been together as father and sons, and also great community builders.
From here. So, how was the first meeting when you brought Councillor Obaze over to see members of the Benin community?
The first meeting where really the turnout was very good. And Councillor Obaze was there. I hosted it in my house at Ajedina House. Number 31 Ajedina House was my house. That was where I hosted it, and people turned out.
Did people, because you're a man of the people, but did people turn out extra because they knew there was a message from the Oba?
Yes, I said to them that Councillor Obaze is coming to see us with a message from the Oba of Benin to the Benin people here in the United Kingdom. And they all came up, and after welcoming everybody, then I leave the floor to Councillor Obaze to introduce or inform us the message, or give us the message that the Oba has given to him to give us.
That meeting, as will be said, one of our elders in that meeting, Engineer Philip Dausa, brought the idea. We need to have a way of organizing ourselves in the community. So when you want to talk to a person in the community, you speak to the Odionwere, and then from there the message is passed around. That's what basically what that Odionwere.
I want to go back just a little bit. You said messages were coming from the palace. Prior to having an Odionwere, how was the message being received? How was it disseminated? If there was no arrowhead, what were you doing that you felt we couldn't do this? It's not circulating.
Well, let me say again that Mr. Ebode is a very, very, very instrumental,
Resourceful man.
very resourceful person. He can reach anybody across board.
Okay.
Mr. Ebode was a unifying factor at that time.
So when we had this meeting, which I asked Mr. Ebode to invite people, we met at his place. He prepared the meal, he prepared everything very good, and invited many Beninese. And fortunately, many came also. Then, the moment after that, after the meeting, I told the Oba that it was a very good meeting I had with the Beninese through the help of Mr. Ebode. When we saw the success, a very, very successful meeting or gathering, so I told the Oba, and he said, oh, then carry on from there. I was very happy. I said, okay, we meet again then. So I telephoned the Beninese who attended the meeting that I'm going to summon another meeting to meet again, which I did after about a month or two. During the second meeting, there was one member, one attendee, who said, oh, let us call this gathering Odionwere meeting. We all know what is the meaning of Odionwere. I was so happy. I said, oh, that's good. I am originally a Benin, but I know the village I was hailed from, Oleten. I know that the Odionwere was there, so I know from Odionwere that time too. So that is why we name our gathering Odionwere Union. We had to convince the Edo meeting, Edo members,
the Benin Union,
the Benin Union, that we are not going to usurp them because they were afraid that we are going to take over, we are going to usurp them,
but at
overthrow them.
At this time, have you taken the message back to the Oba that they wanted an Odionwere, and how did the Oba?
Yeah, I told the Odionwere that we've met the second time. It was very, very good, very successful. There's a lot of progression, and that there's a suggestion that we should name our gathering or our group with Odionwere, the oldest person in our group. There were two old people there.
But wait, before you go, what did the Oba say? Because this is.
He was very happy about that. He was very, very happy. It was nice to speak to the Oba. He was very, very happy. I think he had the love of the Benin people anywhere, especially in diaspora, in UK, at heart. He was very, very inspired. So he encouraged me to really go on, manage the union, the Odionwere Union, and progressed from there.
I want to say now, you decided, you had a meeting, and who said, you mentioned the gentleman's name, who said, I don't know where will work here.
Yeah, that is Engineer Philip Dausa.
Was there any objection?
No, it was wholeheartedly welcome.
It was welcome.
It was welcome, but the vote was that who is the oldest person? Because Odionwere is for the oldest person.
I could see.
Not the person that is rich, not the richest person. It is It's an age grade thing. So now, fortunately for us,
No, wait. I can see more than one but. You have said you wanted an Odionwere. You have to notify the palace because it's only the palace that could, say you can have an Odionwere. So were you notifying the palace before you found out who the oldest person was?
no, not really. It was after we just don't go to the palace. You have to be having an objective to talk to the palace. We don't just go to the palace with a vague instruction. So what happened was that we now had to find amongst ourselves who is the oldest person. Instantly, people recognize Engineer Bernard Woghiren, who was in the meeting.
Oh.
He was there. So, but I was they were not so sure if it was the person. So now begin to ask. Ask our father, who's now late to me, so rest in peace, Igbe. And Igbe said, no, he is older than me.
He said,
Yeah, he was older than me. So Mr. Aswini, who was in Manchester, was contacted at that time. And then they said that, Pawori is older than me. Then we also get in touch with a late Oba Erediauwa, who was also so invariably, this didn't take 1 month, it take 1 day, it take about 3 months to find out.
Yes.
Because we don't want to do things in a way that it doesn't follow the Benin tradition.
Forgive me if I'm wrong here. Were you? We're talking about era of birth certificate, or we're just talking like who references to who was older than who? Nobody was sure who was older than.
Well, birth certificate. Odionwere Asoranbe,
Yes.
you have to know in Benin culture. We know where we choose from.
So
we know.
So why did
you see, let me give you an example. When my mom told us about the story of when there was total eclipse, how old she was at that time. When the Queen of England came to Benin to visit her, so they'll be able to tell you how old we were at that time.
Okay.
So you're able to calculate for those sections. And these people were here, they know where they came in and how old were they when they came to this country.
They knew themselves.
They knew themselves, they know how old we were when they came to this country.
So now you've established. Was that the only hiccup you had?
That was the only hiccup. Well, after getting that hiccup, and then we need to have an authority. We don't own ourselves. The Oba of Benin is our umbrella. Any Benin man, Oba of Benin is the umbrella of every Benin person. From him, authority comes from. So we now have to get authority from him to properly create an office of Odionwere, who he will now be related with to us.
How was that? When you told the palace you wanted an Odionwere, what did they say?
The palace will have to do their due diligence.
Did they not just tell you no?
No. They didn't tell us due diligence. They say, Magawe, they will look into it. Well, we sent them a letter through the first black council in this country, Dr. Councillor Obaze.
I know they ask you. I know you sent a letter. How optimistic were you? There is no Odionwere outside Benin. So how optimistic?
Well, the Benin way of life is that we are able to organize ourselves. That's what the palace was about. They were happy that we can organize themselves. They said they cannot see somebody to ask questions, somebody to speak to. So when the letter was approved for us
by
the palace,
I have to clap.
And then
give it.
I have it here. And that letter was dated 7th March 2008.
Sorry, what did he say? Just read out.
He said it like this as because we use Dr. David Obaze's address at that time.
Okay.
And they received the letter on the 1st, we received the letter on the 1st of April. Letter was dated 7th March 2008. He said, I am directed by the Omonobane Duku Akpolokpolo, Oba of Benin, to acknowledge the receipt of your letter dated 10th January 2008, and to say that the Omonoba has granted your request for the appointment of Odionwere. The palace appreciates your effort at organizing yourselves to come out with such resolution. I am also to add that inquiry about your nominee reveals that Mr. Woghiren happens to be a relative of one of the palace senior chiefs, and it was signed by Oronsai Gobodia, secretary to the Oba Erediauwa.
I got it. I give a clap for Oba Erediauwa.
Everybody was very happy because when we heard that the palace approved it, and we were so joyful, and we really have our own party here, the get together on the day of installation of the Odionwere.
In the inauguration of the Benin Union, Odionwere Union, we hired a big hall, very big hall, so that it can accommodate many of the attendees. And there were many attendees, so hundreds. And he spoke to them, not individually, to the whole audience.
During the ceremony?
During the ceremony. I made him speak to them, and he was willing to speak to them. He did. It was nice. So each time I speak, they know it was just genuine. My effort was the inspiration of the Oba.
Yeah. And now we still have the current Odionwere Council.
Exactly. Well, we do have that.
We do have that.
And we have meeting very frequent.
Every month.
Before this
COVID
came,
Before the COVID. And
we
after
can't gather because of that. After the COVID, during the COVID.
Thank you. Do you have? Do you feel the Odionwere will continue? It will
Yes.
be here to stay.
I think we have the Odionwere, the vice Odionwere, the group that consult with the Odionwere, just like Odionwere is a council, and the secretary, and we had a meeting every 3 months or so, till now. But because of the COVID effect, it's very now we can't do that.
Okay. And what is the relationship with the Benin Union now and the Odionwere Council?
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Everything we want to do, every time we want to have, we have, especially during Christmas.
The Christmas season, yes.
Yeah, what do you call
The
Igwe.
festival.
We used to do Igwe very well. The Odionwere Council, we actually introduced the Igwe so much to the country, to United Kingdom. We celebrate Igwe every time. The whole Benin, many Benin all around from Manchester, in UK actually, in the United Kingdom. We used to come to London to celebrate Igwe with us.
Did the Odionwere ever meet the Oba? Did he ever meet Oba Erediauwa?
Yes, the Odionwere have gone back. He went home several times to see at that time Oba Erediauwa, CFR.
And what was he doing? Did he go to give the Oba a report now about how you were doing in the community?
I think that was one of the reasons, and at the same time to thank him personally for giving him the opportunity for the Benin people here to have Odionwere, whom he is now, the first Odionwere of Benin people in United Kingdom, and if the first Odionwere of Benin people in diaspora.
He was very happy about that. He was very happy. It was nice to speak to Oba. He was very happy. I think he had the love of the Benin people anywhere, especially in diaspora, in UK, at heart. he was very, very inspired. So many times when we're having a meeting, I will phone the Oba during the meeting to talk to the audience, to the group. And it was so very nice to hear, for the people to hear his voice.
So the Oba was on speakerphone during the meeting?
He will speak on the phone to the meeting every time.
How often did you have this meeting?
Oh, we used to have it every time, so perhaps every 3 months or so. We still have the same Odionwere.
What's the Odionwere's name? Is
Yeah, Woghiren. Woghiren. Bernard Woghiren.
Thank you, sir.
That is the chair. That was the
first
Odionwere.
Odionwere, and it's still the same
Same.
Odionwere.
Yeah.
Well, we hope the culture can carry on.
We hope the culture can carry on.
Thank you very much, Uncle. Thank you.
We were able to organize the first Igwe festival in the United Kingdom.
After the installation.
After the installation, that particular year.
That it enabled you to be able
Yeah,
to.
we were to do, and all of them came in.
Prior to that, it was not.
They were not.
Uh-huh.
So prior to that, it was done. That event took place. It was a big hall, and a lot of people were there. Our children who don't know how we do it, even though we didn't complete it, the only thing is that Amag baby.
Yes.
That is, we didn't sacrifice anything.
Yes.
But the most important thing, we had the white, the cola nut, we have the white chalk, we have the cocodia, which is the coconut, we have the bewe, everything were there. And then our children were there. It was a marvel to watch. And then some of these white folks came in. They came in to watch.
Because of
it was strange to them.
Yeah.
Some of the children who have never witnessed this back home, they were happy.
And you still have the same Odionwere.
Yeah, the same Odionwere still there. They still very strong. Still very strong.
What will be we had the Odionwere during Oba Erediauwa.
Oba Erediauwa.
Are we quietly confident that should the time arise where we need to continue this culture in diaspora, Oba Erediauwa would also?
Yeah. You see, the palace is the way they do the things is that with the desire that it will continue. We continue to organize ourselves. Because let me say something to you. Like last 2 years, when we do this COVID-19 or whatever, they regularly send itinerary for the Igwe festival.
Yeah.
They regularly send. When the Oba was to do his 6th year anniversary, which just took place last year in October.
Yeah.
They sent the tourists in England. So they always communicate with us, and so this goes right. So that's just the role. They want to be able to relate with us. We are the children of the palace. We are Benin people. We are Edo, so we reverence them. Like I said, the Oba of Benin is our umbrella.
Would you say now that we have a huge Edo settlement? We have some in Spain, we have some in Germany, we have America, we have everywhere. But the United Kingdom is the only one that has an Odionwere. And if I listen to you, it has helped to cement the people, it has helped to build relationships with the children. Do you think the other parts, Europe, places like that, because this is the Odionwere of the United Kingdom and Ireland.
Yeah.
The jurisdiction where the Odionwere does not cover, and it has Benin people there in vast numbers. You think they're going to ask for Odionwere?
Well, everybody is unique, and it is unique to what they are, their situation, where they are, depending on their thinking.
This is the United Kingdom.
But this is the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
This is the Edo Umuata ever. We learn the English language. They are the one that told us, showed the English language to us.
Yes.
This is a land of culture.
Yes.
So I'm glad to tell you that you have two kingdoms in the world
Yes.
that is here existing, who practice virtually the same thing.
Yeah.
The Benin Kingdom and the British Empire.
Yes.
That about the same thing. So we if the other people want to copy and see what, we're very much glad to shoot it.
Yes, because there are underlying things that probably why the Oba is the United Kingdom, you know. I'm very grateful to hear this story. Let me shake you again, and I like a copy of that letter.
I was the first secretary of the Odionwere community.
The first
The first secretary.